You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange SierraLeone. Orange.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV with the stream on Facebook, YouTube, and also on our website where they powered by Orange SierraLeone. We will bring this edition of the Breakfast Show come to this Thursday morning. My name is Khadija Bangora.
And Mina Mebel Kaba, good morning. Today is Thursday, the 30th day of October 2025. Inside this edition of the Breakfast Show today, early this week, but 9 civil society organizations may come together and sign one concern when a statement with in position regarding safeguarding the neutrality of security forces, and also then they asked for let democracy be upheld before, during, and after the 2028 elections. We make today in this edition of the Breakfast Show, where they get somebody where they can talk on behalf of them civil society organizations here, look at the concerns and where they get, and also let them tell the public why they think say they really prioritize the issue we get for do with the neutrality of security forces and also the democracy na the country. Now that's what they discuss in this edition of the Breakfast Show.
Well, this and other story them, then at the Breakfast Show for you this Thursday morning, as you hear from Mabel. After several statements them we come out from the two main political parties them. The first one now from Jimmy Batilo Songa, when the newly elected chairman for the SierraLeone People's Party, who side and be the handover to him, be the making speech and it be utter some statements them inside a particular speech day. Well, this be make the All People's Congress APC party through a press release be react and say the opposition whip na parliament be make some unfortunate statements them according to the 9 civil society group there. Well, then pull a press release, Usai then condemn some of the statements them we come out from the SLPP chairman and self the opposition whip na parliament when na Honorable AKK. Well, then 9 civil society group here na 50-50 group of Sierra Leone, African Women's Leader Network Sierra Leone chapter, and also Budget Advocacy Network, BAN, Campaign for Good Governance, Campaign for Human Rights and Development when Chadi, and also Lawyers Society and the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists Large. Now the 9 come together, issue out a statement, outside and condemn both the SLPP chairman in statements them, and also the opposition whip, we say the 2028 election could determine if war will come back na the country. Well, for can talk on behalf of the 9 civil society organization there, I don't call so. Now the studio will get Augustine Sorisembe Mara, when a lawyer and also a human rights activist and the current president for Lawyers Society, when one of the organization them we put out this concern and then been signed them. So it talk on behalf of the Balance 8 civil society organization them we come and put together this particular statement. Good morning, Mr. Mara.
Good morning, Khadija. Good morning, Mabel.
All right, we see you say on a come together as civil society groups. And the civil society wing now one way many people be on the question recently say they don't go quiet and they're supposed for be the watchdog of the states and for the call outs the ills of the government and self the opposition. But that's not on the happen and people on the question. All of a sudden on a 9 emerge. Before we talk about the issues, we wanna talk about on the press release, the emergence of the 9 civil society group and a wake up to the civil society wing.
I mean, personally, I can always refer civil society to a midwife. So, within a midwife, they do it, especially pregnancy or a pregnant woman, for guidance through the process, help them for like deliver safely, and after I don't be delivered, also help them for mental the pikin. So that's essentially the role where civil society they play, and don't play with democracy. I can always say the peace and democracy we they enjoy them because we get strong civil society actors. Na salon, maybe make sure say them in team up, especially the demand for elections, even with the war being the rage, so then civil society then they been produce a return to democracy, and that democracy now we they enjoy till now, but with democracy still young. So civil society now that midwife where they help we for also take care of this democracy where we compatriot them lost their lives them and people and destinies them being altered fundamentally. So for answer your question, I think there was a need for less civil society groups them. We understand governance, we understand waiting na perhaps the consequence of not staying true to this democracy that was fought for and defended by blood, limbs, tears, etc., etc. So then civil society, we realize anytime we hear the drums of war, we're worried because war not the peak. And so we can get with fierce disagreements, whether we get for Bilunge Bridge or not, we can get them. But once we begin politicians and talk about now about the military, if this not happen, blah blah blah, we'll make this place ungovernable. Then people will understand democracy. We understand all them pillars where they keep democracy together. We say no, we for come together. I mean, it's a loose I will not call it coalition, but a number of groups that we come together and they identify with the fact that war or rumors of war should not be part of our conversation. We can consider we disagree whether President Bio they do so well for health or whether President Bio they do well in the fight against corruption. But once we are politicians, they talk about the military, they talk about war, they talk about the place being ungovernable, then we know now that no, we all know for Sidom and allow the rhetorics here for be amplified. That is why we came together, we identified with that in that statement, and we put them out clearly. So we condemn both sides unequivocally.
Now that we don't put out the statements and the relevant people who wanna call out inside the statements, Nabatilo Songa, the chairman for the SLPP, and the opposition whip na parliament when Honorable AKK. But yet still the conversation still they go on. It's like now a decision where the party don't take. Yesterday we hold a conversation from the parliamentary angle. According to the APC rep na the studio, Honorable Lako, he said they react to waiting the SLPP they say to them. And when you look at all the conversation at the media right now, it's like tension they rise. Whose impact on I feel say this statements on I don't pull, also wanna call both parties out go make to them?
I think this will not be a one-off, because sadly, if it be a one-off, then we know they play we role very fiercely. And I hope that these organizations and we identify in this statement will continue for play that critical role in our democracy. Because like you say, if now decision at party level, they don't take, say, this is how these conversations will be had. It means say the opposition self go take a statement, say, would go pound for pound, toe for toe. So equally so, civil society, the way we know, say, over time, don't build credibility on standing for truth and democracy. We also for ensure, say, we not left that space there now. Because, and I agree with you that for so long a time, the role where civil society then play in the reconstruction, post-war reconstruction, sadly, in the last 10 years, we not don't see them. And pitifully, in the last 5 to 7 years, that space they effectively empty or other bad voices them don't occupy them. And like you always say, once you leave a vacuum, other people in the can occupy. If you left that space there, you credible civil society, they are the buyers of this world, where their own messages then laced with all invectives, then go take that space there. So now that make credible civil society, they're not for left this space. And I hope that going forward, we would continue to be aligned on things that matter for a democracy. And it not go be once off. Because if the political parties, they don't take a stance in that, so then go continue for engage. The ruling party don't take a stance in and so then go continue for engage. Opposition self say, we would also throw the fire back. Then civil society get for calm, because now we they tread that middle path between the one the way they govern and the one the way normally they call them a government in waiting, right? So we want for ensure, say, we governance conversations not be dominated by war drumming or rhetorics about war.
That brings me to the question of if owner the civil society organization have been see this coming, taking into consideration how far the nation don't come, the 11 years rebel war, the experience where the country and people and go through up to this time. Even for move forward in terms of seeing them way government supposed to do for people. People are still complaining. Then when they get some kind of conversation here leading to elections. Wanna been foresee this?
I think, maybe to be honest, I think somehow, somewhat, we get for accept, say, that space they serve, some civil society actors, they mean quit that space. We have to be honest. Because believe you me, if they may occupy that space they, as robustly as our civil society post the war being the function, politicians enough don't get a field day. But especially in the last 7 years, and I have to be honest on this, and when the SLPP party came into power, a number of things had not happened where, looking back, civil society then for don't stand up more and more. Critical things had not happened, right? Things where, for example, the census, the manner in which it was carried out, Lara Taylor Pierce, the manner in which it was done, the 10 politicians, MPs then at parliament, the manner in which it was done. And I feel like once, and waiting they happen with bad governance, once it happen one time, there is an appetite for let them repeat them. And waiting bad governance actors then lack na silence. Waiting elect na inaction. Waiting elect na division. So waiting may happen, they begin pit civil society against each other. So one civil society look at the other, say, oh, this one pro-regime, this one pro-opposition, right? So that inability, therefore, let we function as a unit, knowing that the only enemy who gets na bad governance, not to we safe, we took our eyes off the ball. So they may have been on get this field day and they don't become emboldened. But then say better late than never. So we self don't realize, say, we need to do we self good. If we sit down, they begin to throw accusations and counter accusations. So don't get to a point that we realize, say, no, if we agree on a set minimum, we can come together and then speak on the core minimums and they. So now that make way one party civil society organization, ILRAJ specifically, initiates that draft and call around civil society groups, it be easy for us to say, no, we can disagree in terms of how much allocation or whether the free education get quality. We can disagree on that one day, but we all align on the fact that however the conversations are, we should not accommodate war or rumors of war.
The political division is visible in so many institutions as it is.
Absolutely.
And this una concern where una get about the neutrality of security forces and also protecting democracy, ensuring say in as much as the country they go into elections in 2 year, 3 year time, not enough for doing two particular institutions here. Let we look at the issue of politics, the one the way una they call. Are they willing by the things that they say and do? Una they see like they seem ready for work with una for ensure say this call una they make una achieve una goal?
You know what in them call here fine? Because many times people in Kinsidon, they want to do the right thing, but they feel alone. So once you get credible organization come forward, they remind them of waiting them for do right, then self would go back to the drawing board and realize, say no, then they watch wheel. So if we not do what is right, the organizations here would later hold us to account. Remember, say after all the atrocities of the war, they mean bring forward those who bore the greatest responsibility. And military people they understand what they call command responsibility. So some man they go back and say, when something happen, not to that junior officer where they pull the trigger, then they call oh. Now the one way sit on a situation room, right? So then call here important because many a time, and I tell you why, because even in 2018, rumors were that at some point, even ECSL, number one for do right. But because of the posture of the civil society groups, then international partners, they realize, say, no, if we not do this now, it'll be chaotic. And if that chaos they happen, now we will superintend elections and we didn't get for call out. So it's important that then conversations, then statements here be made by credible civil society groups so that the one the way they think self say they want be aligned with them, really awful rhetorics here, go be reminded, say them people and they then continue for dinner this space, right? Even if they may not depart for a while now, but we're coming back together with greater force. And as a midwife, for say this baby will be delivered, you know, strong yet, we don't can out for come mente for ensure say we rob we madonipana, let him up strong. Because we left him to the Cobra, but if people like the Cobra, no, they take care of him. So we have come back to say civil society will get a critical role for play for call out all the leaders them clearly. And why make that statement very important? Just in case, God forbid, anything happen, they would go back to the records and say, oh, your name was mentioned in this release. So you know go act safe for let them bring greatest responsibility allegation against you.
ABC and SLPP not same for the see waiting and they do or the utterances where they also they make against themselves as serious as owner, for example, don't take them. Why people for treat the issues here where they come up at this stage very seriously?
I think it's serious because always you get a history. Somebody way don't go through civil conflict, you know, ask for reminder, you know, but the dangers of all waiting they happen. And I think that the thing with bad governance they do, obviously, I mean, bad politicians and then they create bad governance, right? So their own appetite now for just for promoting political interest, right? But the fact of the matter is, the ruling party na in the government now then get a greater responsibility for keep the peace, right? So it's unfortunate for Lewi Yeri, somebody when a chairman of a ruling party for make the unfortunate statement. Although somebody say a good friend of mine say, oh them Secretary General don't set the record straight, say no to Dande the chairman mean. No. In communication, we not get for please you mind for ask you what you mean. We they take you what we piece them together, how we receive them, Now, so we construct your intention, right? So if you say something where quite clearly, to madman, we understanding that now this you mean. So even if somebody come and say no to this you mean, now what say we put together, and a simple and clear meaning of them words and they means say they incite the military in a democratic system, which is not correct, which is not fair. And I think the SLPP, where them in that essentially where the first multi-party democracy happened in 1996, that they're fortunate for coming to power. They have a greater responsibility for not just keep the peace, but for ensure say anything we feel like armed conflict or military intervention should be kept out of our governance system. It's unfortunate that this party will suffer in the hands of the military interregnum in 1997, one for encourage conversations like that. And for me, I think say they get the greater responsibility than the opposition, because the opposition of the governance, and the opposition, you would say, might be reacting to what was said, right? So the SLPP party within governance then gets a greater responsibility because the peace and security they na there.
Augustine, now the release way una pool, una concern about Sierra Leone peace and democracy.
Absolutely.
And una go again for remind them political actor there of waiting be happen during the Civil War and waiting the TRC reports be recommend.
Absolutely.
It surprised una for hearing some of them statements there so from people that we all senior position of political parties as a time like now where elections, for me, I can say it is far for us because 2028 is about 2 to 3 years and we still get a sitting president. But when you look at the conversation now between the two political parties, it just feel like CSO don't declare election dates.
No, I think Khadija, well, let's be honest. The last election in 2023, we had a situation where we get beaucoup unfinished businesses na that election day. And the fact of the matter is, once you get unfinished businesses, people and they will go carry that perhaps indignation, when anger. Quite clearly, the opposition will feel say the process was not transparent, but not just
can down for the layman.
Khadija, let's be clear. I mean, me not to pass away one for talk corner. I went to the Supreme Court, filed papers, and say ECSL and get a responsibility for ensure free and fair elections. Fair elections meaning if you declare a certain result, you for able to produce disaggregated data for everybody see how that data they being add up. To date, as we talk, ECSL not produce one shred of that disaggregated data day. So, and why make that one day important? And forget about the fact that they're not even being yield to demands for letting project results and the collation. When important, because you want in a system where somebody lost election, where we all see at the scoreboard. So at the end of the day, if you want cause any issue, raise any issue, would all turn back to him and say, no, we saw it on the screen, you lost this election. But the opposition mean things say, then disaggregated data, they not release them because the results where they announce no go tally with the disaggregated data. It means they go carry in them that anger they say unfinished businesses them in 2023. Now it make the election cycle not break. Now it make you the one that say, why is so early? Because as far as the opposition on other groups, concern, 2023, we're not even done with it. So that cycle now not feed into the next election. So effectively, if you buy like the next election at tomorrow, because as far as people are concerned, that one day continue for linger in our minds, right? And I tell you what, it not come as a surprise to them 9 organizations here, because the things that we don't undermine with democracy, we don't become far too numerous. And waiting they happen. Now, when the issues here done boku, then they begin for infiltrate all institutions. Maybe I'll talk about how almost all institutions now don't so become highly politicized, right? So the danger is that politicians and now they begin for stoke them flames them within the institutions rather than focus on development, right? And I'm not saying we can sit down and lament the situation. Quite clearly, civil society groups are all maybe complicit in waiting happen. To be honest, to the people of Sierra Leone. But we can't say now because something and don't go so bad, we can't come together to say, okay, let me address them, however late, right? So now that make now we understand the need for let we speak up as a unit, as a group, as a united force. Because then say the house were divided against himself, not going to team up. We realize say we all the organizations only do well in their own measure, right? Forget about the degree. But we realize that we all come together today and 9. So until the next issues that what they take on might be 15, might be 25, might be 50 groups, right? Waiting until they show now politicians and that no, this field they will we not get for so long. The civil society actors are saying we are not going to let it anymore.
Let me look at the other regulatory body them because then political party get several regulatory body them where they regulate them like the PPRC and other groups then they will normally can add to una you work on they do as civil society then can consider them as eminent group. Absolutely. You think it's high time for let all them body there come up now like how una self as civil society groups you say una see the need for begin put caution to them people there?
Khadija, to be honest, I don't think so if I don't get this conversation. If the first very moment with that statement, Batilo Songa released that statement, if PPIC, when are the regulatory entity, being immediately, not just put out a statement, slam a fine, because they get powers for fine, they get powers for sanction, they get a number of, powers under the law. We perhaps if we may not put out a statement now for congratulate, now for appreciate PPIC, but we know the conversation would get about how the institutions here unfortunately don't crumble under politics, because this is an issue where they put not just a strongly worded statement, they slam a fine where if other leader within these two leading political parties think of repeating that, then remember say 1, that fine day was heavy, and then 2, they already done sanction they already done warn put you on a final warning, right? And I think say, but the absence of that one day now makes civil society sit down, come together and say, no, we can't let this continue, because the group the way Parliament set up for regulate, not quite say do them work. Why me could they talk about 2023? Now because ECSL not do their work fine. If they do their work fine, then they're able for really continue for amplify with democracy and grow with democracy. But because of all them failings here, now they put civil society in the spotlight. Now they make we come together and realize say if we left this space institutions them where parliaments don't create, not quite to do their work. Unfortunately, that's what bad governance does to institutions.
But the institution they are always set up by an act of parliament, then get the powers where parliament give them. Yeah. You say they know they do their work fine. What are some of the issues? Is it that they not get the space for let them go able for do their work effectively, or na them bad politician there way you talk about now they don't go inside the institution there and stop them for function?
No, they don't need for go inside. They just need for appoint their allies and cronies. They don't need to.
But that's the apple.
That quite clearly. I mean, Khadija, let's not.
But some of their institutions are supposed to be independent.
Independent. Now, then the parliament we set them up by the constitutive act, say them for be independent. Unfortunately, the appointment processes make it impossible for let them be independent. Because, for example, ECSL, most of them commissioners, you see how the opposition go fet in terms of the nominees them for big commissioners. At the end of the day, the ruling party go merely bulldoze their way for get their young people in. So, I mean, the one way do computer science, they talk about garbage in, garbage out. So once you get political cronies, political allies, political friends, they occupy them spaces, their institutions now, they become an extension of the ruling party rather than independent bodies where they can serve the interests of the people. So two fundamental things here happen. One, they would not be efficient. They need to serve them purpose. But then fundamentally, the second one, now the fact that then now they perform the duty and the function for politicized institution. So now make the appointments very critical in democratic process. Very, very critical. Kenya realized this after the 2007 that the elections and violence. So when they pull the new constitution, then shows a critical roles and day where the president just they perform ceremonial function. Now whole body they appoints people like judges them, the chief justice, for example, it's the whole process. Then just they bring the final list vetted, scrutinized to president and say, "Pana, you get the green ink, you sign." But not so you to go fend and we the fend for you know, we the scrutinizer, we come and you. So with the function where the president they perform, ceremonial. Now that make in Kenya, the president they grab in the complaint, say the judiciary they do too much and they stop their work. That's the judiciary that is working, right? By the way, you know, now 5 years ago, any Supreme Court being convicts me for contempt today. You know, so so I talk about judiciary, I just remember.
Should we say congratulations on your conversion?
Then the scars of activism. Yeah, but just to your point, that once you do that one day, the institution that they will function, because remember, say, I sit down my money and they appoint me. So they will pull me even 10. But if you remember, say, I go through process, they interview me, panel discussions, appear before TV, they scrutinize me, they read me judgment, etc., etc. I get independent people who always scrutinize me CV, then check her, say no to fake degree, etc., etc. When they appoint me, I'll be comforted that not to by stroke of pen and they pull me. That same process will take long days and weeks. Now that same process for pull me. But now they see say some man and they appoint. I have stories of people where they appoint. They mean they na kuki bafa. They don't mean no say they appointed. They say pa they don't call your name. Say nobody don't tell me. Oh. So what do you expect? The man feel say, oh then call me because I aligned. So I'll get for continue that agenda day. Unfortunately, that is where we find ourselves.
Where this on a list come out critical say this and what's no more than it when a docs back, nothing no go change. Because when they call inside on a press release for let political leaders then publicly talk say they want the neutrality of RSLA, for example.
Correct.
And then leaders there when they call for, let we take the instance of the SLPP. Jimmy Batilo Songa making statements where una self concern about. But the same person making statements, people don't come out, they defend what he say, not to the way how people interpret and they say it mean. How genuine them political party and they expect them for be, if una wale then come out, can't talk to the public say, they want the neutrality of the RSLA, for example, and the security forces. Where deep within them they think something differently from waiting on the call for. How for handle that kind of situation?
So maybe for me, I think two fundamental things. One, what we call out the them political parties here, the expectation is they go do the honorable thing. But because society unfortunately so broken that we don't even expect honorable members then for be honorable anymore. Right? For political leaders and for do the honorable thing anymore. Right? But one, we want for go on record, say we not let them comment and they slide by. Another one. But also two, one for assure the public, say, we not go read them statements and not remind political parties and say what they do, they against the spirit of a democracy. and they against waiting the TRC been document, and me recommend say military personnel and for stay away from a democracy. Right? So even though at the end of the day we might not get them political leaders for come forward for apologize, because we see the old damage control now, not to that me mean, and this me mean, etc., and not to Pekin away the blab. Now you remember say, oh, look, I interpret with the blab, but big man will make a statement, we know them statements and they being clear, right? Unfortunately, the oppositions have played along, right? So we on expectation now that this release would send a message that we would not accommodate political leaders. We want for drum rumors of war, or call in anything we feel like a breakdown of peace and security in this country. Because we democracy they are alive because of peace. Because once there's instability in any country, the first thing we will be affected now with governance and with democracy. Right? So we all hold, and I mentioned, say, I hope, say, this will not be a one-off, especially towards the lead up of 2028. We hope that this civil society would continue to be united, at least on the things that matter, because we can able to agree on some core minimums, and at them minimums, and then we can able for continue for stand on and continue for amplify your voices within that space. Because believe you me, there is a need for we continue for assure the people of Sierra Leone say we not go left them maybe as an orphan, because we a midwife for democracy.
Two things. If you follow the conversation now from the two political parties, they were getting people there, we make their unfortunate statements here. The PRO for the SLPPC, then chairman, they energize them base. Yeah. Then chairman make them statement, then they for give hope to them supporter, they will be don't feel left out. If they try for energize them. Listening to the APC, then say then they react and they ready for resist anything with feedback it want for happen, like what happened during the 2023 elections. Then party are just according to your view, you think say then just they play politics with the supporters, or their statements them very intentional?
I think it's intentional. I think it's not politics with them supporters. It's intentional, and it's worrying, because when you begin to make them statements, you put pressure on people, especially military leaders, officers, you put them on the spot, right? And it's unfortunate because the chairman of the ruling party for understand say not to show you they energize you base. They energize you base by showing them, say, President Bio don't make how many kilometers of road. President Bio don't provide free quality education. We don't get beaucoup people results. So the best way for energize you base results, right? Unfortunately, I mean, we know that one day, if somebody not get results, now it resorts to energizing their base based on certain other things that are unfortunate, right? I mean, obviously, we expect the opposition to play along, because on 10 day, then say when they go low, we go high, right? If they go low, we come out and say no, we condemn them, etc. We don't want the security forces for being involved. We would not resort to violence. We call on the PPRC for let's take action, etc. Right? Unfortunately, they played along. They also went slow. It's unfortunate. But again, I can always say, sometimes the way somebody reacts based on maybe trauma, right? The opposition, they realize, say, oh, for a very long time, remember constituency 1110, the election, Kabbalah, election, etc. So all of them here, so then that trauma day, somebody say, oh, if you like, I get for fight back, right? But then conversations say they should not be had. We have made it clear, whether you're suffering from trauma or not, we not for sound the drum of war at all, right? We're not for sound the drum of war. I would have I would have thought that the chairman of the ruling party for able to identify the number of results when governments don't score and energize the base based on the results. And similarly, opposition say for don't outline a number of things that they don't do for resist bad governance and energize their own base based on. That's the conversation we should be having, and not resort to playing on the minds of the people and get them prepared for resort to violence.
Apart from statements, them like quote and unquote, we will make the country ungovernable. We don't come out from people na the opposition. We don't hear the publicity secretary for the opposition, CDI Tunis, responding to the same statement where the SLPP chairman make. For in statement show like the army divided. He say yes, for now then go fist, now then get the police, now then get the military. But let them not think say, now then get them all. If politician and they give that impression now as if they don't go inside the army, then get the young people there. Are these worrying statements to the build up to the next election?
Worrying, because if now you look at the military elections, some candy bar, like cake where they don't cut. And then one person they say, you think you get the big side? We say get to this we side big. And I also feel that I know say most of the time them military not want for be involved in all of them conversations here, because the president is commander in chief. But if you follow US politics, at some point I think the joint chiefs they may get for put out a statement say President Trump call them in, they would not participate because they not think say it was right for let the army be deployed, after the National Guard was deployed in Washington, D.C., with another, capital. But other areas and say they not think say, right? And I would think that somehow, somewhat, and I understand the need for the military to stay out of the conversation, but we want also as civil society to get an assurance, say, the military as them political leaders, they say, they not don't divide along political lines. And I know that we have a very professional military. And I think that going forward, since these spotlights now don't be thrown on them, let them be aware that civil society groups, especially we don't come together on them core minimums here, go continue for watch the military. For let us see now say whether waiting battle been say it been true or waiting the opposition PRO been say being correct at all. So the spotlight is on the military now for do what is right.
Based on the utterances of both the APC and the SLPP currently, if we want for right the wrongs where they already done the put and pa, what you advise say need for be done for let them meet at a common ground? Because when you talk to both parties, none seem like say, I want for calm down because we move towards election, let we guide the country in peace. Even if then they say the word, you go not say they not mean waiting and they say. How for fix this?
For me, that's a PhD question. It's extremely difficult. It's extreme because in governance, not a one player. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate because especially in democracy, all institutions therefore play their role, right? So if they play their role, it means say even if you elect a bad leader, you sit on a state house, you need to shake the institutions. And democracy scholars then they tell you, and many years before Trump came to power, so on two leading democracy scholars they write a book, How Democracies Die. And say democracy no they die when they elect bad leader. That's not correct. Democracy they die when institutions and die. So if you can appoint the worst of we, put in a state house, then send institution at the judiciary, then send instruction at the judiciary they not need. Talk to the police for let say the police say no, I'm going by the rules of engagement. If this protest or this demonstration they want all we will provide security because then they will differ. ECSL say no pa we dey project the results and at the screen, we dey publish disaggregated. If all the institutions and they play their role, we would not have a bad leader for getting way. Unfortunately, waiting they happen the situation at the institutions and they go down first. And so it's extremely difficult for answer that question. How do we fix this? If we not fix first, we institution. And unfortunately, institutions are not built overnight.
Yeah.
They're not built overnight. So what we have now a strong mandem na democracy. We do not have strong institutions. We do not. The audit service way for long term will be facing another institution the way people let me believe say how we can to them they take foolish. We see what happened to Lara. So that last institution is gone. ECSL is gone. Salon police, if you write for permits for virtually anything way anti-government, you're not likely to get it. You are not gonna get it. Not likely. Right? Not likely. But we see say if people in common and in political function and can dance and treat, now police have to guide them. And mind you, first you know they can protest where government they do right. They only they protest where government they do wrong or where government they do bad thing. So unfortunately, I mean, back to your question, while we not get any quick fix solution, I think say what civil society they do now, maybe a little late in the day, but that's a step in the right direction for ensuring that we call out institutions one by one, waiting they do, how then they do them, etc., etc. Why now are they significant? It not go change things dramatically, but it begin to set now in the minds and the feelings of the people of Sierra Leone that we can get it right. Right? And then demands and they can be amplified across the board. So even within political parties then now people they begin for also call out in political parties then. Because that's not what we have. I want to see politicians away go come forward and say, no, I they SLPP waiting Batilo Songa. I don't want to be associated with that one day. That's when you know that our democracy has grown. When you get internally, you get politicians and when they disagree with policies. And it can be good policy. We can get somebody where sometimes we get somebody who want for take over Lunge Bridge. Get a politician within SL people who say, I don't think say Lunge Bridge economically go make sense. Let me focus on something else. That's when you know your democracy has grown. Because democracy get for create accommodation for dissent. And if you not get internal dissent, everybody get for toe the line, it means say democracy not there.
But the space they currently for later dissent they happen because some people prefer for talk to you in a corner than then come like how people like Mara they come openly and say things. Do we have the space or are people just not to utilize them?
No, I think it's an economic question. So somebody talked about how with democracy is essentially about the belly, right? Essentially about survival, right? So waiting bad leaders then they do, then not they create access to resources. So because then they monopolize the resource and then get them, then they only give people a pittance at the end of the day. Waiting that mean it means say perpetually people can go there at the mercy, right? If we have a system where everybody gets decent paying job, at the end of the day, you will get more and more people away they able for disagree with their leaders because at the end of the day, I get work, I able to take care of myself. So now that make in advanced democracy, you see more dissent because they're not there in a political pot, that one pot. But now politicians they don't create one pot when are they no more able to open the cover. So if they not open the cover, you are not they go inside. So when they lock the cover, everybody angry. So the disagreements, nobody get appetite for disagree. So the only way for they create appetite for dissent, now for let you economically empower and develop a nation. So that if me they join political parties, I know they join because I want for dip me another one pot. And they join because I identify with the values of that political party. Unfortunately, we not go see that one day very soon because of, nowadays we don't even talk about economic development. It's sad. And I don't have mentioned to somebody, I say nowadays when you talk about economic development, we they talk a lot about all the excesses and deficits in the political governance.
When you talk about development, Augustine, that brings me to the next question. And what one for ask. Okay. From where Batilo make this statement and the opposition self-react, you find out say the entire conversation, especially in the media landscape, don't turn now to them. People hardly talk about rare issues where they don't discuss. As we speak now, the country they battle with drug crisis. Absolutely. The youthful population they be wasted. Absolutely. That conversation don't balance now. To other one make the country ungovernable. Yeah. To other say I no go hand over power to APC. Then they say we go resist them. The politician them. Now, deliberate act for divert the attention of the citizens, not for hold they accountable on the aspects of delivery, because the government gets a responsibility for provide the basic social amenities for the citizen. Then get a social contract, and your position self is part of governance. Then role now for keep the government on their toes for let them deliver on for the people, but they all seem now for focus on how to take power.
Absolutely. And it's correct, 100%. And I think it's always waiting bad politicians and do for skew conversations from topical issues. For example, all the drug crises where they ravage communities. Feel like that conversation they don't die. Now the focus is now on elections rather than. And one philosopher say, every country, the greatest asset are the people. It's not the diamond, the gold, etc., etc. Unfortunately, when you talk about the drug crisis, when you talk about all the drug barons where they don't name say then they live within we. When you talk about the one the way they import the kush, how they enable passam, etc., etc. Now the conversation is on elections and how political parties they want for outmaneuver themselves, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate because now we need to even talk about delivery. I feel like we don't give pass to the ruling party, say whatever we want to do now, we do. Which is unfortunate because we lives are no better off because of the number of issues that we were confronted with. And I think that drug crisis thrive more in poverty. If you look at poor communities, even in the US, now they drug them more. Then rich neighborhoods them, then they get their own drug situation, but comparatively very, very low. So drug crisis thrive in poverty. And the way you for holistically address them are for also address economic deficits. Right? Otherwise, some man remember say if you go buy in one whatever you take, you smoke them, you forget all in pain and in misery. Because job not there, work not there. So now then conversations and they will forget but job creation. Waiting President B.O.B. promise, say he go can make the lives of youths them better. Unfortunately, that promise we see say it's not been delivered, and as a matter of fact, instead of for make their lives better, the youths are now their lives hooked on kush. So I think we all get for play that role for hold the government accountable on them promises them, and see how we can able for remind and say not to this you promise, not to this you promise. As at the time we hand the country over to you in 2018, if drug been there, sometimes it been underground, nobody not been realize them and notice them. But this explosion, especially in the last 2 to 3 years with drug, don't infiltrate every sphere of the society. Don't wipe out destinies of young people. And so far, this was not what you promised. You've been promising to create jobs. And we not been thinking say that job go mean say for them be involved in kush and other dangerous drugs. So I think now then conversations and they will forget more But waiting politicians and they do now for drag our attention away from those, for let them talk about how they're able for use the military, how as and when they want for do. But I you know, and we own role now for assure the people of Sierra Leone and civil society. We go call them out, we go document, and if need be, we would push the institutions here, put them in the spotlight for let them act.
Should people be worried if the current trend between the APC and the SLPP continue moving down the line to 2020 elections?
I hope that, and I'm comforted that at least on damage control, the fact that they come out and say not to that team means say something they don't get some internal realization, say pass until you go too much, right? What will they do important? Because when you call out, some senior heads within go say, oh, Batilio, maybe enough for don't say, even if you get the intention, enough for don't say in that manner, right? So I don't think that the people of Sierra Leone should be worried. Let we all be vigilant. Let we all be watchful. If now one councillor or one MP, once they make a statement, we're able for call them out publicly so that they realize, say, that principle of greatest responsibility always the international law and international criminal law. So if you cause mayhem for happen on any side, now they want the way inside. And one that they not be able to prosecute everybody. They want the way go on radio, they want the way talk them politicians say that they all let me get for call forward and prosecute for what happen. I wonder. And so similarly, once you call for war, once you call for the intervention of military, just no more say if anything happen, now you bear the greatest responsibility. Special courts on the far, they across the road, the structures and still there. If bad people and things say we would wait, no, we get international players and number of international criminal practitioners. Them we don't in that space for many years, and for set up special courts back, you know at all the buildings and they, God forbid, we're not calling for that, but let them be aware. Say if anything happen with democracy, then at the edge.
Now that we don't put salon democracy in the aid, and earlier you say then press releases their own at the pool, they call people, they names them, go serve as witness in case anything happen. Una think say it's time for take this particular conversation. Some of them things there will una highlight for take them to national level. Other people and for step in and join discussion on the caution them two political parties. Yeah?
Absolutely. Inter-religious council, for example, Council of Churches in CSL, Motor Drivers Union, Labour Federation, etc., etc. Because these are all institutions where been the WOCO, SLTU, teachers, right? Because the many actors you have, and that make us say, I'm really glad that we, now 90 days, we don't come together, if we're able to amplify them. Because now we get for occupy that space there, right? Now we get for occupy. Labour Congress, they do so well, not just about labor rights, Labour Congress. You know, before now, Labour Congress being able for participate in critical governance issues and then voice on their issues and they be they shape, right? Unfortunately, most of the institutions and they be don't crumble under the dysfunctional system we don't suffer. But the call now that we for able for amplify all of this, but not just on this issue. My own expectation is that a group of people here of organization for able not just on this issue, for identify other issues them and amplify them as we go.
We don't hear you, Max, say we not go hand over. We not say you want left free now. We not go hand over power to the APC. The APC self say then they resist. From on a civil society perspective, waiting will be a word of caution to both parties as when I don't begin for call them out and they draw their attention to the ills of the war where the country suffer from. When I even draw their attention to some of the recommendation them inside the TRC reports. What do you go left with them for ponder on this morning?
I think it's unfortunate because once you're in governance, you make that statement, you put pressure on in CSL. Right? Pressure not for do the right thing. So for me, I think two things. One, we will be very clear going forward for call out all of them things and they, but also for making clear to ECSL and any institution where political leaders and put under pressure indirectly by them comments and they, for let them know say then get we support, then get we get them support, we get them backing, and we go ensure say we team up with them for do the right thing, right? But also for let political leaders and know say their rhetorics here are being documented, and let them know say with democracy, because when somebody in governance, now get a greater responsibility for keep the peace and security. And if we give you that responsibility for keep the peace, you not keep them, then accountability processes would follow at some point in the future.
All right. Many thanks for joining me this morning, and we hope see the two political party them they listen and also they watch, and some of the things them with the 9 civil society groups there don't talk about. Una go ponder on them. My pleasure forget you as always.
Thank you.
All right. Well, continue for watch the breakfast show where they can look at another issue. As we all know, drugs now one of the topical discussion there right now, especially to substance then like the kush, tramadol, and other one them where many people believe say young people they take and they make then they get health condition. And according to Dr. Abdul Jallo, when at the consultant psychiatrist at the Kitsi Mental Home, where government don't turn to a treatment center for treating addicts there, then say a mental health problem. Well, we see who say the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency don't start operation. Then go na Funkia community and other community them. They don't go take the young people there so we don't turn addict from the substance there, and they don't carry them go na rehabilitation center. As the operation they continue, let we listen to we reporter Mohamed Kamara, where they with the group, where they pass na different community there now, forget that the young people there and carry them go na rehabilitation centers.
April 4 last year, President Biobi declared a national emergency on drug and substance abuse. President will make this announcement for SECA, the past mark way our young people them. They take kush and other bad drug them na the country. From the time where the president will make this announcement to now, waiting at the impact where the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency don't make on the fight against kush. As the 2008 Drug Control Act give them the power for control and prevent drug abuse and illicit trafficking of drug in the country. This being said, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency be partner with National Public Health Emergency and the security sector for do the Operation No to Kush campaign. Outside and go na different community them for sensitize people about the danger of kush and self get a kush victim them where if they talk to community people. The head of the Security Task Force on Drug, Colonel Gogra, explain about the support where he say the need from the community people them for fight against drug in the country.
We did almost all over the country. But we're not afraid this drug if the community people not support me. The community people now get for support me because now know whether they sell and whether they smoke and whether they culture. So we do the accept someone go don't come. We are sure who said they sell. Now we say at this place and the cell. Now we go there. Let the person say no, we let it talk to me. Yeah? If we not put drugs in the community, then young man all the future don't spoil.
Mohamed Fula Bangura, na the headman of Funkia community Godrich. He explained what how drug do affect young people them na the community and the number of young people them where he say don't die pan drug from last year to now.
Last year, I made 62 cops. 62 cops. What about this community? Not all the doing Mexican, college, this, also in the government. It's a village, 62. This year, 27. Because they resist it and they die. Resist it because shelter no day. Only they can and then they die.
During this waka, some kush victim them be share the experience about kush and how they can feel when they not take them.
I feel torment. I never get sleep. I feel the system not good. For now, they talk so and not smoking. I feel they against them being for police. Because history, my mama first, what like pass on man in my life, and I need get an issue. I know the pain what don't cause to that woman, they just be crucial.
But I never nothing, I never say I never walk, I never nothing. Right now it's so safe. If I not take a 55.
Inside Ion Talk, the executive director for the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Andrew Kaikai, explained about the Operation No to Kush campaign, what they do right now, and the area them with this campaign they targets.
So far, they don't begin from Funkia, I don't care, all sides. We don't go around all the area, we don't go big particular we get food. So today we just go from area to area. This team don't already come on a dead western. So right now at King Tombo with this one, they can't collect the one within there. Then they go to the next area who saw those students collect the one within there and go left in at for treatment.
And Kaikai same way so continue. For explain about the facility them where he say government don't put in place now the treatment center them for provide treatment to Kush victim them.
Government they make provision. The communities that will don't go like from Saturday. We go Kanike, we go Shell, we go Poti, we go Approved School, we go Pamola Field, all the areas they where they go. They make so much food because the Kush now they cause the food because of the chemical the way they mix. So each of them places the way they go, you get Kush picking and they all they pan Kush. Everybody they on Kush, but you get specific one that way get source them, and there are too many. So the provision where government don't make now that they will work on. It's going to be ongoing. You take this batch in, you treat them, then another batch go in. Now so we go for the do until we pull them at the community there.
For know the plan where government don't put in place for ensure say them tap drug, not for calm na the country. Now this and Ruja Kaikai be get for say.
I don't go deploy even the NDLA staff them because they know how to handle drugs. So as you see, as we do that then at the Liberian border, last week, now catch that Guinean, where they try for traffic cocaine from Guinea, use SierraLeone as a transit for enter Liberia. We hold on at the border, I'm sure that we see that all over social media with the cocaine and the pictures them. So that means that they tell the public say, that engagement will begin at Gendema, it don't begin yield fruit. We don't forget the same operation back at the Sierra Leone Guinea border and Nakambia.
Andrew Kaikai end up call on community people for work with NDLEA and the security sector for give them information about people where they sell drug na them community for ensure say then tap the way how people they get access for buy kush and other bad drug them na the country. For Liberty Online TV, me na Mohamed Kamara, the reports.
Right, welcome back. It's still Iwaji Breakfast Show live na Liberty Online TV. That's a report where Mohamed Kamara put together outside the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency together with other security apparatus them. Inside this week, bingo waka na funke and other communities them also na the east end of Ritongusai. Then they talk about the issue we get for do with the kush, then take some of the one them way already don't be victims and they carry them go na different centers them. Well, we get information say today President Bill go for visit some of the centers them, but Liberty TV go bring you the updates later as we still continue for look at issues we get for do with the eradication of especially drugs when a kush where we see how it on the turn to the big and young people them now the communities them don't they affected greatly. Many of them they were don't lost their life allegedly to the drugs, and we will continue for look at that issue. But quickly, let me go to court and get updates on waiting they happen at court as reporter Mariam Abangura go reports.
Justice Aisata Selu-Toka, na High Court number 5 Sheikha Stephen Street Freetown, don sentence one Sheku Kamara for go 12 years jail na the Male Correctional Center. The defendant been tina before Justice Toka for answer to one count charge, wey gets for do it unlawful possession of drug contrary to Section 8, subsection A of the National Drug Control Act 2008, Act number 10 of 2008. For where police allege say, inside last year na Freetown, then catch am with 25 grams of kush without any lawful authority, and the defendant say in guilty where the court been read the charge to am. Justice Tucker don say, even though the defendants plead early and show remorse, drug offense serious and the court need for send strong message. And continues say, if he not been plead guilty, the sentence for being high. Justice Tucker don sentence the defendant 12 years jail and end up say the right authority for destroy the drug and warn the defendant not for do drug business again after he don serve in sentence. For Liberty Online TV, Mina Maria to Mbangura.
All right, we continue with the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV. And today we understand, say, His Excellency the President, they go do inspection now some of the rehab center them where they now some parts them na Freetown. And as we all know, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency don't start operation. Also, they don't go na different community. They wouldn't get information, say, victim then they or addicted people then they take them people there, carry them go to the rehab center them. And today, His Excellency the President this morning they go do inspection now some of them center there. Continue for watch Liberty TV. We'll bring on a live update. Now some of them rehabilitation center there. So also His Excellency the President, Dr. Julius Madabio, they go visit and do inspection and see the condition of the drug, especially kush addicted victim them outside and day. We'll go bring on an update on that later on during the day. Continue for Watch Liberty TV. But quickly, we look at the Freetown Secondary School for Girls as the Old People Association don't brief member them ahead of the school the upcoming centenary celebration. Outside this press release, then talk about different things the way they don't put together as an association for develop the school. We reporter Fudia to Wuliko gets more and go now report.
The Clienttown Educational Organization na organization where they for give support to poor pikin.
All right, we go bring on the Freetown Secondary School Old Guards the reports later on inside the program, but quickly let's just go na Clienttown and listen to a report where Sunkarisi Sedu.
The Clienttown Educational Organization na organization where they for give support to poor pikin and then don't they support them pikia with school materials them na the Bishop Crowder Primary School under the Safeguards Education Project. And this being said, then don't begin the monthly sensitization who say that they bring them pikia together with them parents them for teach them about hygiene and other human related things them. As this na the pilot phase, the project coordinator for the Safeguards Education Project, Valentina R.D. Obi, explained what to make them they do this every month.
This organization for try for maintain education, especially the girls, for let we able to retain them at school because then they drop out of school rapidly in the community. The rationale behind them na girls hygiene. Some of them picking there, you self go attest with some pass with near you. Them body odor them. With some big people they know they even carry. So we want help them for let them go able to they carry out themselves decently with the best way we will be able to provide hygiene education for them so that it will be part of their life.
When they talk, Dr. Titi Muvunzi, the facilitator for the project under the Clienttown Educational Organization, self-explained, but the things there whether they discuss with them picking here.
So we are going to target adolescents.
All right, well, from that report there, we dey join now His Excellency the President, Dr. Julius Madabio, as we tell una earlier say, he dey go do inspections na different rehabilitation centers them for look the condition of the drug victim them where the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency during one operation, then they do this BNTM. They don't get that some of them people and care and go to the rehabilitation center. Would they join now His Excellency the President during this inspection? Continue for Watch Liberty TV and this na the breakfast show. Now they left una and join the inspection team where His Excellency the President they do. Mina Khadija Bangura they say have a good day.
All right. Well, as we join the State House Communications team for Get a Live broadcast on this, Mina Mabel Kabar say, have a good day and goodbye.
In addition to
Don't move fast. Move.
We'll visit, reward them, Now it go get focus group discussion with victims.
Okay, public health. Public health. All in public health, and that's it.
They go get focus group inside with the survivors, the victims, the drug addicts them, the parents them, the parents them. This now for sure say person. This now for sure say the president he talk he not talk he they do, and now for can know and feel, get a first-hand feeling about how them parents they are, so they feel, or how the addicts themselves they experience this when then they take the kush. For sure saying a president will care, a president will concern about a citizens them.
emergency. Since you announced the state of emergency, task force in place, we have been admitting victims, and we have admitted and discharged over 400, 350 here and then in Bosa. Recently, we just opened in Ghana. So we are here so that the parents of victims that have gone through the rehab can talk to you briefly in a minute or two. We have 2 speakers, and then also the victims, we call those who have gone through our services, the service users. We give 2 of them an opportunity to also talk to you, sir, because they have gone through the services and they are now doing extremely well. Some of them back to college, sir, and in fact, the lady, she graduated, she went back in 3rd year, and she's graduated now. She's right there. So I'm going to ask them briefly to introduce themselves just in 1 minute, and then the speakers can take the floor and talk to you in 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency has got a busy schedule, so we have to make it snappy. Thank you. The plan is busy schedule, so we'll get to talk to our quickly here. This is an opportunity we don't come. We'll carry the lead on us to read it in 1 minute. Yeah? And thank you. So, tell me, what's in your name? Quick.
My name is the mother of Mohammed Ikera.
The mother of Jacob Khalid.
A mother of peace, my God, this is the children I am ambassador of my Israel.
Ambassador, are you in Canada? Ambassador Jacob Kyle Winsenberger.
Okay, so these are the people. I think we have to listen now to the parents. So for you, you have an ambassador, somebody who has gone through the program. So talk to His Excellency, 2 minutes, your experience and where you are now, and then her own son is also. And you can talk to the parent. You know, the 3 they don't go through the program. So talk to her about your experience just inside 2 minutes. Then you said you can go through the program. You said 2 minutes. That man, you know, you can just come again right now. This is so much done with that one.
First of all, I want to say a big thank you to His Excellency for we make the next day very clear. Because me, like me, I got a lot of challenges. A mother of 3. Then I even go to prison because of this. If you think that this is last for what, start for take push and go to 13 years. 13 years. It goes through. It can also one day, it act something, grace. So like, it begin do something then, every day, mommy calls you not to think for. They calls me, mama, I let them sleep. And go say, hey, how are you picking on cow? This in complain, they can, this in complain, they can. I go a lot. I even run away, I go Liberia. I then Liberia back, they hold down, and go put in a cell. I come out Liberia back, I come. Any password they pass is in my picking. Any password they pass is in my picking. So the last one now, when I got 17 million, the lady saying in bracelet, 17 million. So I go to the station, I not be able to pay. So they go for special court for 8 months. 8 months, female correction city. So like I did it, I fed government, I come out. We are come out, I hear everybody rehab. But I just tell go thank you. Why everybody rehab? Immediately, then we can register the picking them. I get batch 4, batch 3, batch 5. I want to say a big thank you to His Excellency back, which of us, because it's not even the minister, we not give money, because he really get passion for me. And when we come, so we not face nothing. We not bring food, we not bring rest, we not bring nothing Now you take care of your pikin and take your boxer and they supply them. Nothing, nobody no go tell me say wake out in pikin and yap, you pay anything, na lie. So I want to say big thank you to Wimoni when I'm the Minister of Social Welfare with the workers there. Because still now when me picking they don't come out, they go home service to them. And now me bobo don't start, they don't begin go school back, they don't start in St. Edward. So I want to say big thank you. Because I live with them, Papa abandoned them in my hand. Me na a single parent now with picking there, they are the other one there. So I want to say thank you for everything.
Good morning. I tell His Excellency, thank you. May God continue to guide and protect and save. What things happen to Pekin? Start nursery, from nursery, go secondary school, St. Edward's, go IPA, second year. Now, one continent tell me, say, I see Pekin with some family and when you go to school, now can see come. What's happening? And there is something where tell me concern what you do. I say no. I beg that I say tell me say no. But I don't see what possible make a push. I can see what they will see. But the boy tell all of us. So he dominate me aside. One day when I come out and go, they go to the toilet. Like this is a pastor. I go pay na see no. The bad things now I put on a kite bag. I said, you are the only Pekin. I don't know again to I said, well, you do this here, and you do this here to you, tomorrow, and educate you, it be somebody, I can go at any time. And I say, I will stop. But you look stay. I go to church and pray. Go tell the pastor, allow the pastor now, and then I absent. I explained that. I said, no. He said, I'm sorry. Go sorry. He said, go now. Ministry of Social Welfare. He said, go register. I go there to tell me to go. The other day, I see Madam Minister. I said, what you come here? I said, I explained to her. I said, no, I know sit down. You keep well. I said, because His Excellency, you will be taxed. You will succeed. Now, you can go. Dancing continuously. Now, one day called me and said, come. You your contact. I said, there are meets, they will bring you back. When we want to, I said, that's so. He said, yeah, back. He said, it's the national, all things. 3 days for them to come on and be absent. License, you don't come, visit to close a castle. When I come, I don't know for that. So that I can thank you, which you should do. The God continue to be with us.
Yes. You begin the comment.
Yeah, me don't get good morning, that. Me na Mrs. Asumana just get introduced myself as Asumana. Me man a retired. So one day I go to school account. I can't miss me, but when you don't have stretch your hands and put off in the holla. What's happening? Money in the hands. What's happening? Not to explain to me. But my neighbors they be there around where they don't know, or friends they don't know to it take this thing. But when they ask them, they deny. And where are the mother? I said, "Oh, go church." If they hide, you go and see them 2, 3, 4 weeks are not this year. And they tell they can't issue na oath. Sell everything then na oath. Television, this that's when I don't believe say for true they take this thing because they tell me say the one day they take this thing and so they do. Television not then oath this that. The small one way left I say keep this for you picking there because you get 2 more they go international. They say I know they keep and they send me safe. That's the way they said that I don't property. I get school fees for go pay for any picking there. He eat am, he not pay. Then drive the Babona International and meet at him and say, Grandma, I'm under the sun. I said, for why? Then the pikin tell me say, they are sending me out to out for school fees. I so cry, I just go back now. Sleeper, anything, sleepers, anything. His small sister intended anything wey he meet he dey take am dey go sell anything wey he meet. Now I say, but you no try for me Thomas. Your papa na a retired somebody, single mother, me na teacher primary school for that matter. How you wan allow able for develop the company for itself? You dey make her dey find am difficult for able for bring na the table. He say, go left me why I can't do and go back. Now I say, na this thing allow me for pay collect fee for he don done na lawyer. He don done na lawyer right now dey inside. He dey inside na lawyer. He no dey go work again. Kind of in the car see every cold cough. We go send me back say how for Twitter. So one day now we dey pass now again for this program. Now a friend lead me na social welfare. I go to the money. I go see some staff wey dey lead me to the place and tell me about this rehab center. So we dey wait now because this time we go fast more. We dey check. Then later we can now see yes the program don start. I go there then they say we dey there. If it's the meeting wey they call, that's why let me husband take the meeting. Let me go around. I go look for half thing there for her wey you go come with inside because we no be know the procedure. So I left the man there. Then he go na so I go back half thing there early in the morning. Now I say I don hear about some time. I wan let me go there. He say he no dey go. Me no dey go there. In fact, they don tell me say I for go Abanita for 2 weeks. Then they admit say now I say me no dey carry go Abanita. I go na one private side. So na make I appreciate una. Tell una plenty thank you. I go na one private side. The list, the form wey they give me for fee and the expenditure is over 10 million. Now I say me I no go need do this because of the one I get. So I be just abandon the list and focus on the social welfare issue. So what I go now say the social welfare issue don't go on. Now I join them and come. Now morning we talk to her. If they don't hold me food, say mama not hold me food. No, they don't before me na me for the dance. I say now you don't talk big one for me. Let me they don't and go. Make I hold you. Now he push me, say no, you don't have gone before me. Now I say, well, the news now, the good news now they give now. I mean, do some error that you don't know, but the social welfare issue. I say that the program don't come to our one of them. It's how I say no good. So me say all man that they go, so that they go school, that they go work. I love all man that they go to come to the key. Now I go to Acom police station. I go beg FSC. Go for them before them police. They back give the road they cry. Then they ask me what happened. I explain the problem. Then they say, well, we'll help you give police. Now I say, but the law are they afraid of, but una know where uniform. I said because na lawyer tomorrow let them not say like this like that. So the man, I make them use normal clothes. We go, the man goes to know, we don't harass her, I talk with her. Even the man encourage her, we talk with her, you know they give chance. He said let the man not talk to her. Now the worst thing on that you don't do. For go take police from me, you wait till I go inside and come home. Now different dimension between me. I say God go arrest you peacefully. Go you can, you know, go be that a different dimension with the try to talk. So the police are going for bed then and say, like the man come with me. In fact, the police one we did with me I have for long. Until I see the environment okay. Now I tell the police, I say, well, look at transport, go back home. So that's what we learned to this place yesterday. So I appreciate you now, I appreciate the money, I tell you now, oh, thank you. Let God do a long life and we'll for you for take care of me and the country. I appreciate you.
Yes, my lady, ambassador.
Ambassador Margaret Jawara, giving a testimony to this rehab center. I can always say I'm not ever shame for telling this story out because I know say I always stand out as soon as self can see. I did college study this peer group influence. I did procurement and logistics. It's my guy. Peer group influence we go out so we can get cook out. Then I become influence because your environment where you did they influence you a lot. So I become friends with people. Then I can just say, "Oh, tell it till I'm on go, feel belong." Say I go inside there. People for gonna host and they gonna host. I left. I don't gonna speak. I can just say they left me for being a big woman. I don't be. They go that they fend me outside. What's I gonna expect? Except that they go see me one thing. They count me in a house. Now mama say, he said me I don't know what to happen. You want to kill me? But we don't really got this social welfare program where they go on. So they decide for go and go do inquiries. When time you say they go with me, that next day now jump candle. I say I'm not going to go no side. But he came me go and decided to talk to me. Then I begin counting. Now one day I talk to me inside social welfare. The way he talked to me, but he realized that particular day, not say no. I said, even if my mom and your grandma come with me, I dey come for myself. So I begin go and they cancel me, take date each for we come inside rehab center. Tell to the next mama they ask me, I beg do you know on away. That's another one away. Me self not ready for change. They tell me no on a third year, they complete they can't graduate just now. You know that for join them. And it's not know they graduate every year, but now we don't start. Who see another they will join the company. I wept that night. I cried. Till to the morning where they come and cry inside. I feel so good at that moment. I'm not able to talk with anybody. But I just realized myself say, this is the right place where I can just correct all my mistakes there. And social welfare don't do a lot for me, I can say. Because even at times I don't get forced to talk, but the social workers there always there around, they talk to me, they this. I decide to change my mind and say, okay, I can move. God make I dey inside, I feel happy, I feel changed, and I go outside. The ministry helped me a lot. I continue, na medicine I die. I done, I go finally, I finally graduate. Then I dey volunteer one side right now where I don't decide for just but like honestly, the way we be there, I can just say to myself, say, we are bright minds of today, we are leaders of tomorrow, but we are sacrificially slaughtered on the altar of addiction. The question was, is there no redemption? But my answer today is yes. I am redeemed. I'm not going to help you. I will always stand out. Mama, I want to say thank you. I've been a youth parent. I'm not expecting.
Actually, my name is Ambassador. I live in Kamara. It's a great opportunity for me to stand there. I was once a drugs addict, even push. Yeah, and I've been taking when I push. So like it's over 5 years from 2020. Yeah, so it was so difficult for me. I started my drug addict from the time I began at school, while I began to go GTI, Polytech. Yeah, so now I don't change out to Polytech. So it looked difficult for me. So my mommy tell me, say, I'm going to rehab. He said, they don't find rehab station center. When I go this on the Ministry of Social Welfare. So I take the opportunity. My mom will left me on myself with the vote. Because maybe don't tell with this drug that I don't gain respect Sunday again. Even people's respect Sunday, spiritual community, respect all the girl who for people there. So I get in mindset, say, let me take this opportunity also. So I go to the rehab center, the lady stamina at Ministry of Social Welfare, it was so difficult. Some of you sick, especially when I sick, I think I'm so challenging. Say, which kind of opportunity we go on give me so then this for the more we so confident. Some of you sick and keep them repair, put them to clear. We pray to God every single day, every day. So like 10 over 1 week we overcome. Some of them 60 but overcome. We keep on praying. They can't see me, teachers they carry side, they say okay, they can't touch me, teach you a lot. So I tell you thank you for that, and I already tell you, the president, very, very thank you for what you do for we. And right now, and even me, I go school now, to the Ministry of Social Welfare, I go school right now, at the SSP Science, because I go back to college, when I don't rehabilitate done, I go back to GTI, they say no, they say the system don't go, they say I don't politics right now, because they want results. Once it's over, they go in at the GTI institution, so now I'm politics now, so I give thanks to God, and I tell the minister, plenty thank you. I'm not in the organic anymore, and I always keep the feel that I'll never be a organic.
I'm an ambassador from this rehab. I just want to plenty thank you to the minister and social welfare because they not only can pull the drug for me, they also help me for me we rehabilitate we. As we get this opportunity where we get where we can heal. And I say thank you, Mr. President, for everything you have been doing for us. You like today, I for don't graduate, they like today. But now I don't start back in concrete at the study IT now. Thank you very much.
So, Your Excellency, these are the stories, and we have a lot of answers. And we don't know if you want to say anything, sir. These are the stories, sir, for all man and na small numbers, sir, for who they are, who they are, who don't integrate back into society, school, and all that, colleges. So, we want
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, the minister, the meeting we fought and said then the military, the police, with the deputy, the head of the drug administration, then the national head also, Dr. Sagiba, will always involved actually for administer who have done the task for no nation say grow up in them. I want to say thank you to my boy. I want to say thank you to the parents then. This woman used to say still traumatized because the young people they are correctly. The others are a bit relieved because the beginner don't become ambassadors. And for the ambassadors, there is no better person for me to talk about this one than Una. And I'm happy we don't even have the title ambassadors. That means we will represent the rest of the country for make sure so nobody not follow that path. We will not follow, we will not begin for follow, and we will not say not the wrong path, not decide for stop. We human beings have life for making mistakes. And I want to say this for everybody. We can make mistakes, but we also get the ability. And that is where the problem is. We realize say, this pathway I don't take so it not going to lead me good side. At the stop, at the gather the zeal with the support of the system for me I come back. I so happy for my boy. I don't know if I don't work in a certain mirror lately. You are the future. Now when I go for this, the minister, then soldier, then police, and Sidonaya, if you point future now, then you don't point real future. Even if you don't buy it, the future is still in there because this country belongs to me and we all. So that takes me to a very important something where when I say parents and waiting they don't do and waiting we government don't do. Plenty people with problem they instead of the find solution, I was saying that this na me na responsible. Now the minister na responsible. Now Joe na responsible. This as I don't see how the few people don't get out of this and don't become ambassadors. Not a collective job. The parents that take it seriously, the one day they begin the young complaint, that's now one of the most painful things the way they do. And the government provide an environment where they make them begin the asshole, come out from that bad habit, and now two of them don't get it. And I wish you all well. And waiting we want for people to know, and we have to tell as ambassadors, that for say, when things stronger or peer pressure, enough for make you do anything when we have parents they know they are accepting our bodies. Whichever difficult it is, the future is much brighter for us. The world they are ahead of us, you are not even start yet. So if you do anything, you don't only don't destroy yourself, you destroy your mama and your daddy and the family, and if you have big one, the small one they waiting out, and also the future of the country. So I'm so happy for now. And we go for use as ambassadors to the extent that we can for making us tell the story, because in your stories, the rest of the country will understand, say, you want the way they politicize this. Oh, now the government are in the ring. Oh, now the government responsible. Oh, now this person.
it show clearly say how we are able to go into this and come out of it. It takes a lot of work to the parents, the obedience recognize, play their part. And looking at this, the judiciary not in our representative not in our judiciary. But like what this woman go through, I think say we forget the system, we forget compassion. If the king go through, he don't get problem. Then you not say na out of drugs. I go take him, mommy, when na in a day with himself, then you lock her up for 8 months. Now luck he gets where the is still able go through this. So why this story important? As they talk, as they pick the good things then, where they relate to other things then. Enough for them go through that. It was wrong. You get one criminal then, that puts away to the king, go out of food, set the go for me, then you hold and be locker. And I don't joke at it. Self-country, punishment I did here. A big no crime. He just touched me as he talk. And so, waiting this to prove. This short story and testimony too longer. Now for sure say, it's not a one-man business. The one that way they go, all the government no, then some of them know who side, whether they sell, whether they import. This push, this is another one they see and physically, but a combination of different chemicals, and it's so bad, it's so lethal that it will kill person, not only for getting out of your mind, it actually get the potential to kill you, destroy your system. So for maybe they allow some of we know how much policeman they get, how much soldier they get, how much minister they get. We get 8.5 million people. People they know say they get to the day. People they know that in the service. From the arrest they will go the day, from the community, the big people there. It is so bad that Mami the day we involved in it for certain. Not so we want for salon, not so salon will better. No. So I want to say thank you to Una for being good parents. And I want to say thank you to Una for Una volunteer for being ambassadors. And of course, Papa government the dirty box. We're ready for it. But I also want to make society understand, say, when you get challenged like this, not to throw the blame at one person, one group, because you want to make politics or a point out of it. This nothing we will make. Now, with our future, these are our futures. They are truly. Look at a beautiful lady like this, very brilliant. Look at this young man. Look this other man, where they said, if they not be done come out of this and continue, then there will be liability. If not to be Sudan Naya, anybody will get for me Sudan Naya in future, then there will be liability. Then they create problem, now we get for support, they die or we die. So I'm really happy to kind of this, I've been put this task force together. And of course, we'll be done the work. We've done reports a couple of times, but not to everything, all the pillars have been understand. At the first time for Canada Center, and forget people they will don't receive this sort of treatment, and we don't completely come back to society. I want to say a big thank you to you and the whole ministry. Big thank you to the minister, and the agencies that were responsible for waiting. This lead to sample longer today, but it's still a continue. Yes. And we want to employ every citizen. You will say, I am a SierraLeone. I'm a proud SierraLeone. For people, first this faith. This not to soldier man faith. This not to policeman no more faith. This not to Ministry of Social Welfare faith. This now all salon person. You were proud
the policy of SierraLeone before join this fair. And plenty way they for this fair. At the past few, Mr. IG, Busa Ever, and of course with Mr. Kaikai, Busa Ever get to the Busa Ever people they gather, wait for do bad things, there, including drug, not just push. Any silence alone, they give you full power to make you take action with the Rambler thing. If you need this German, we will make them what they generally care where on go, but they will support you because we need for fairness. Again, as I say, instead of the grumble, the trading of blame and this and that, we don't see money they inside this thing. And that money they pay from north to south, from everywhere in the village is pushed in. Instead of we blame one another, we fight for no practice. You will decide to go find chocolate the seller. Cookery, what are food where the nutrients there, where go make it they go before. Find books that make the seller to them. Find other form of business where you go do. And so the judiciary doesn't. But I know so they go hear it because I get for also make this, make sure say the one they way involved in this, not get light punishment. But this is an attack. The very fabric, what you debate and we have to now they want there. If we give them, we let sit down, they do waiting they and bow with each other, then that's the end of SierraLeone. So I want to say a big thank you to one of the parents that we don't endure this sort of torture because I know what it means as a parent. But see you begin to go after all the investment, they not get savings for bank. Now one of the savings. So if we now government, now we don't see the input and people there. And in as much as they do health care, food security for taking care of the all, the most important one day, now we are the young people there. We want to make them study with passion. We want to make them be better citizens than we. So that Salon will better. If we now go down this road, definitely Salon says we go down. So that make us so happy for as ambassadors. And I want for, I'm so proud of this lady. He said, I'm proud of, I will vote him up any side. And I think that is more persuasive than Mrs. Editor say, not push. Like you will don't go. Hey, Timothy Editor say, yes, I will make the mistake. But I don't correct the mistake. I'm not going to allow any young person at this country for commit that mistake they did. I think that voice is more authentic, is more persuasive than anything when they talk. There's a saying that the Bible very good to dynamic. But you will not go through that. I want to make them against my body. And through the ministry and all the efforts they will make, we will make sure say we are at the forefront of this fight. So all the agencies from drug enforcement, from the police, Camara, yes, talk about William Canal and sick. So I want the public to understand, say, we look at every aspect of this whole chain, from whether the brand come to whether the seller to them, and whether it's sick, whether it become wayward, how we be able counseling, when they talk about it, all talk about counseling, when they make the even take the talk seriously, and Canada, and begin realize themselves. And when they did that, when they fall sick, the ministry come in and take care of the health. Government don't take action. Yes. So for the one that was very simplistic in the solution to national problems, drugs are a big problem all around the world. Yes. Or including in the United States. You see that they use aircraft all now for bomb. The one the way they bring drugs. You see that the police, the military, the navy, all forms of law enforcement, and they use that. So not make like say a salon no more, but not be so careful. We are salon people. So we all for gather and be soldier man and be policeman for fact this way there. I hope say this story we will tell today will able to inspire the other parents then when they go through this. And I will assure you say one start to kill Ghana, it will come on as one of the ambassadors. I want you to run a country facility to Bo, Daru, and Teko, Makeni. Not to the hospital or not to this facility we want to create, we for prevent the occurrence first, the sale. And interestingly, the community is no gooder than themselves. The community that need their uncle, their brother, they picking them, now then the service. Then they will put up the radio, they will go outside the holler. But government can't save we. You know they tell you it's a stop for self. You weigh the important. It is important. All the material the way they go need to push. None of the commanders are on. Except where you say the Lord begin at somebody. And so again, I will throw this fight, me to lead the fight from the government point of view, but I throw this fight if we care for the future, if we care for the future, what I know every parent do that for more fight this fight and win this fight so that we will gain the soul of the country again and make the people that make Salon go to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency. Before you can just also be appreciated and take pictures. So we'll take the seconds and first, and we'll take the question. So we just
Well, family, una just don't see Usai President Bio don't talk to the ambassador there. We then have been once a victim of this kush. They all don't explain their story. They don't tell una how they campaign this kush. The parents themselves don't share their experience, and also President Bio don't talk to them. And he don't tell them, say government, the Fed stronger one for ensure say all the people that they sell these particular drugs, then be clamped down and also get heavy punishment. Well, after this focus group, President after this focus discussion we just don't end. The authorities then will can't take President Bio around now. Now the facility them where they and after that it will go see the admitted victims them where the center gets right now. So on a state you know not going to say this particular life not ready for end date. Any. Well, we just don't see. It's like the president don't strongly condemn Kush, and they don't ask the law enforcement people then say they can crack down on the one them where they produce some, whether you sell them any side, any corner you in the country. Now this way they say a talk and do president. Now this way they say a president will care. Now it go meet with the Kush other place where they go meet more of the addicts there. They go meet them for go talk with them. Sila.
Come quick, Uncle, come.
Lorenzo, sorry. No, I'm not saying much for them block up.
I don't see any. Kuna dili analika ni mstari analika.
Yeah, tight. Let's do so now because yeah, tight.
Secure the other door. Okay. Don't go secure the other door. I will secure the other door. Secure, let nobody know. Yes. No, a very small facility. A very small facility.
Yes, sir.
You see, this not the hospital. This not the hospital, and we all know say when they take kush, how unhealthy you can be, psychologically, physically, in everything. So you know go say they treat you for kush, you survive kush without go through the hospital. So this not a health facility will don't be provided for. Now a process where then they go through, we don't be provide for them so that they will heal mentally, physically. As you can see, the president, they inspect, talk to one victim where they go through a medical now, and it shows President Biona a caring president and not just say at the fet kush. It calm down, forget first hand feeling as to how then why they feel, which then they go through the experiences, how then they suffer. So and it find it didn't know, so that more efforts could be added. Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Don't go, they go now the next word again. Usai, you will see how they talk to the kush addicts and they try for recover now from the trauma, from everything. So this for don't show you, say if you hand the kush, the president now ready, more than ever ready for fight this.
Reaction, especially the drugs.
Yes, sir. So in that case, normally I have to sell them more than one way we have to manage to right from.
We not get one stop shop like yes, instead of sending them here.
Well, because we know this is the worst case, according to the plan, we get the Ministry of Health. This is psychiatric. And then they take care of this. The one that we get my cases of withdrawal, because they can throw up all. Because now they get the culture and then they get withdrawn. So they react, some are violent, some they throw up, some just stay in the dump. They do nothing, they talk to them. So for the one that we can throw up, we get one body, we can manage it.
So the minor sensitive doesn't like but some of the one that we get advanced psychiatric, first of all, type of admit them, they cherry the roof until people get out. So I think then one and they really need sedation for calming down, for settling down before you begin treatment. So we get standby ambulance and you get direct connection with them. If need you get specialized space for able for management. And then get 40 bed facility there, to specialize for management, from pediatrics to adolescents to adults. So at the moment, there's no way to reduce the whatever chemical is introduced into the system. Detoxification may happen, but only for mild cases. Okay. Because some neuron are so advanced that even as you do detoxing, you stabilize them, you get other complications. You get cardiac arrest. Very short. So, and the fact that it's really nice to remove them from your management because it's the layer that then also disruptive. So you really calm them down, take the preliminary care of them now, we then not stabilized, you see them one that we really advanced, and no need for go back to go on the other side. So we'll try to provide as much support as you would manage now. But then if you really advance it, and then better prepare for management. Thank you very much.
Well, that's the president again. Don't come out inside the hospital, the health facility. Usai the kush addicts them gets admitted. Fumble them. Yeah, no, let us. See there? You will be they say president, government, no care. This don't show say government really care. A care. No president no go get thing like this now in country they happen. They no care because as you hear is say this they destroy the future. Sule.
Police force come on our road. Yeah, they just come.
God they do a lot of things I am. Because there I am. The road that they yesterday is a one nighter. Look them today. Some of them, the law enforcement agency and the police, they come with about 56 of them yesterday. Whether they know family. They put on a different communities. Some of them all are bleached. Some of them are better. Also, we say, then we call them, then you can see them. Because we don't do this. This are the number 6 admission now the rehab center. And I want to use this opportunity in the presence of His Excellency the President for thank the army. The army has been fantastic because this place now the places. Now the army they giving this place for establish the rehab center. And they not only give it, then they work with you, then they provide security. Because some of those people there, sometimes they help to shake small. So the army they help you them. The one that want to run away, you don't get less incidents of that because the army they provide security. And at the end of the day, Your Excellency, now you have got to can do the ceremony for them discharge them. And it is so colorful because the parents can come. And even before they go inside yesterday, then we get the opportunity for hug them parents them, for say apology, for apologize to them parents them. It was very emotional. Even the parents themselves can cry. But I can tell them say, go pray for your pikin. Because when you see they don't do the hassle. Now just the last week, now the parents they can visit them. The one that when the parents are not there, we do chasing, family chasing, when they are now so. Because some of them they pay, they don't give them up. So we will chase their family, they will tell inside the parent and we will chase them so that they will not say them picking and they will join me at the discharge. We want to also thank the lead of the task force, Professor Podesa. He has been very good coordinating every one of us. We thank Ministry of Health and all the partners, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Now then be out for bringing the people in Canada. So Your Excellency, if I go there, I will give you now for letting you say a few words to you people there, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Hello. I want one partner before I begin. Talk. One partner. No one post to show you hand. Where you can help me for talk. Okay. Now wait. Medicine mankind. Behind the mic. Before I begin talk, I just want to know from you.
Why are people saying world in here?
Keep quiet.
Why are people saying world in here? We can especially for can rehabilitate research, and that not by research, but through the help of some people, social workers them, and even the government of Sierra Leone. So we come at this particular place for can rehabilitate research and go back and attach itself to different things than we paper. So the students from the college, and I'm gladly the lecturer will be lecturing me, and at the director of this program. So like even yesterday will come tell me say after this program, yes sir, after this program we will make sure yes sir, lecture on Afrobe college sir, social work sir, they do social work sir. So he tell me say after this particular program they will make sure say I go back college and then make us sir.
Thank you very much. And why I make Mr. Kamara can't talk? because this na salvation for una, protect una from the brink. Who say you don't can tell you one for them. Put you there. For me not for them and wound or die. And we, Papa government, now we get all the blame. Yes. If we not do bad, now we get the blame. If we not do good, now other people then get the praise. We your responsibility. When I remember when they say human capital development, we all like with Sobe. And we not get what not this stage here. So we don't want to lose the opportunity for lost winner. That I make a start for say thank you to the parents then. Because for me, protect this faith, we get for both winner. The parents then are the first people that wake you know, which you don't go wrong. If not good parents then. When you go say, where I want for make the whole of society today. You not meet it because you begin. No, don't make this mistake. Now mistake. You know, when they grow up, plenty mistake there. Waiting when don't do wait fine about that mistake. Then mistake there. Okay, what can do? Oh young. Now for correct the mistake. And also there. This kind talk here, so I just come up see the bring when I come back and stop that bad habit. Don't fair other business then. And that make we self not get for joke with anybody when they bring that kind of food now. That kind of food. When they bring that kind of waiting day and how potent the chemical content in day. Not to hate no more, they make you with simple. It spoil your heart, it spoil your liver, it spoil your kidney. By the time, if you not correct them quick, by the time you correct them, for the rest of your life, I'll speak to you the day, till you die. Now that's the but this thing where people they don't know. Not so you hate them or you make you go on a cloud nine. Now what did they do to your system, your heart, your kidney, and every part of the body where you get for need for use for the rest of your life. So we can't become big, and I'm glad when I don't come inside. If you know anybody where they out, if you get any way where you go able to help me for identify the one the way the brain can, who say you they buy, would that influence you? Mr. ID, you for send Naya, we will get that listening. And let me hold the day, we get for put the day. Anybody, you know, when demand no day, supply no go. If If we don't side with Oja, who are the young people, you are the vice president of this country. Now, at that age, they have made the decision, say they work for them. Any kind way. We begin first, as he said, the fact no, they done the war. I jump inside plane, I begin pass for no, which side we will go to make this war done. Some of them not, or again. And that make when I get peace today. First thing, we know the God has to when I ask them, I need it. All man then are spoiled. Under them rock then a open technical and vocational institution there. Then for make sure say if you not get aid or learn that heart book, you can learn for use your hand. And at the time the one that where they learn that book, they be PhD we all. If the motor small thing for weapon and pass at them, say that fitter. Where they not see, where the other side, he come. So tell you fidget no more, I go and go. So we all need one another. So nothing no wrong. Now for learn something we will make it benefit you, mama, and your daddy. Any daddy then yes, we come. Thank you to the few men then we have don't come across. And that again another thing we will get for talk to. Big man for understand say for race it cannot to money business no more. Some of the young people, the way they make mistakes, not because the daddy they not even present at home. This is not a joint venture. The money and the daddy, the family, the community, and then the country. Then the person man they say, hey, na policeman problem, hey, na soldier man they know there, hey, na custom, hey, na this. Where problem don't be, one will not solve the problem. Waiting they solve them. Now concrete action. Which side is the commode? Whether than the prayer come in. And the one that were overseas, because even as recent as day before yesterday, one of the, I know they call them marshmallow. I see they see every day inside container where it come. Some we brother and sister they will go overseas. Where then they enjoy better life. They not see nothing for sinners alone. That one way they can kill you now. The other day, the police then arrest the custom port. They arrest one container. I think a 60 dagger there. Not to teach in April. So, this they tell when I say we get people that will not care about this country. And at the first, so we know I'm not gonna be the victims. As we are done there now. The best thing we will not do now for say, yes, we realize that we don't make mistake. And they can't go through that system. Rehab. If you're not submitting that rehab, they mean, so in any kind way make you understand. Now for putting everything that your body way wrong, now your mentality way wrong, will make you make this mistake. Then you could be a good citizen. I go one for come back now, where will I be ambassadors who now don't clean. Your system is because you are young, is very strong. But if you continue for those you do overdose. Already, the thing of this now overdose. Now wrong some people go inside your body. If they really tell us the components there, you no ever want to touch her. I left no problem. Problem they all side. What problem dey if you go school, you get problem with your mama, you get problem with your daddy, na for find other way. Human being na that God make we better pass all the other animal there because we dey find solutions there wey dey work for we. This is not a solution, but go take drugs there. I'm happy when I don't recognize that's a mistake for young people, and I don't come back and they say the system they work because the task force will be set up for make sure say anybody will fall victim be able to bring you back. I don't see testimony. I don't see the testimony. If you want help young man, I forget an idea. I for make a land. The only thing we get for benefit is education. And the education don't mean just the book. I don't tell you that them vocational learning, training. So that when I go know what people do, I go use your finger, your hands them, and the knowledge within the brain to make life better for you, your parents there, and salon. So I'm happy for counsel when I say, when I don't begin withdraw. And we get more of una, we no carry. And I hope say when I will be the ambassador of the, we go say, me man, this kind way also, you know, fine no. Let us so for this operation. Let us so. If problem dey not to solve for solve am, at the big one, we go give una the support, and we dey continue for work hard, think try. Na the world, but this is also the solution. And everything where they come, where they inside push, not so here they make am. Na chemicals then, bad chemicals then, wey go destroy you beside before even the future come. So when young man possibly they could try things then. Trap the cake, the square. Every So when you dey kill yourself, you dey damage yourself, you dey also damage them. Make law make them gear picking, they not gonna club. You, mommy or daddy, who said the left don't tell you picking pass? 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, for gonna club. You know, bad parent. And God. So we not for tire, we for continue for play we role as parent, and not to parents the no more community. Because near your host, you get your uncle, you get friends then where you see who say you begin to go and how they come if you don't go do other things then. That community they we all operate for first this push back here. So on that note, at the time we plenty thank you. The young man and the young woman they don't just come. Now this way yesterday and would not the parents then because now this partnership ain't lacking. But it's perfect. So man they go on radio. Now SFPP now don't bring push. Push they don't begin from 2017. That time they maybe still in opposition. 2014. It don't come. So if it don't gain momentum, now we responsibility for make sure say we stop them. It's not good for me. At the time we have plenty thank you. And I will make sure say at the camp of graduation, we will the camp ambassador. Now me get for canton winner to ambassadors, no so. So we all don't agree say we dey change, no so. We dey give proper salon citizen, no so. We're a small country, but we're not good people, and we can make this country change. The country don't begin change, but some man not they notice them or they don't see them, but they know they talk them. We now for be part of that solution. They will make salon better in future. Thank you.
For the news we dey around, log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change. They get the masses involved. Staffs them everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hi yeah, voices come. Credibility, now we are building news, give you the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, God picking, there's a getty power. He count on me, he count on me anyhow. Give you the news, give you the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. Human them, God begin the security power. You can call on me, count on me anyhow. Liberty we ride, like an eagle we fly. Liberty TV day before. We climb the mountain just to get the news. Go down the slums to get the views. Hi yeah, voices down. Hi yeah, give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, let's get the power. He count on me, he count on me anyhow. Give the news, give the view, the tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, let's get the power. He count on me, count on me anyhow. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism.
Term them like this, where politics they shape the future, career they define we path them, and the economy they touch everybody in life.
Big thank you to
One program where they ask the hard question them and some also bring the answer them close to you, face to face with the movers and shakers, the voice them will matter, the issue them will count. One time per week, one big name, one big issue, one-on-one on Liberty Online TV. Every Friday, 8 to 9 p.m. with Khadija Bangura.
Police force come on our road. Ele já está.
rehab center yesterday. How they do a lot of things like that. Because the way they pay yesterday is like one night, look them today. Some of them, the normal enforcement agency and the police, they come with about 56 of them yesterday, whether they know family. They put under different communities, some they all are preached, some they are better, they also. We say, let we call them, then you can see them. Because we want to do this, these are the number 6 admission now the rehab center. And I want to use this opportunity in the presence of His Excellency the President to thank the army. The army has been fantastic. Because this place, now they place this. Now the army, they're giving this place to establish the rehab center. And they're not only giving, then they work with you, then they provide security. Because some of those family there, sometimes they help to shake small. So the army, they help you them. We want to work you out on our way. We don't.
Country like Salon also every decision they touch the life of plenty people. One program they bring the voice of the people to the heart of politics.
This na politics and the people. The program where they give the power to the people, explain the truth, and bring the leader them close to the citizen them.
Real discussion, real voice them, real impact. Join the debate and make them hear your voice.
Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Now you platform where they turn up for the true and civil engagement. Only on Liberty Online TV. Let we talk about politics. Let we talk about people.
I think currently I have a thing for Vicky Remo.
Hello viewers, we don't bring different content into you, and we know the tire for make the content there where you like. And now we dey bring fun and shorts with Adri. This na game show also your favorite celebrity, social media influencers, students, and other people play game they like, truth and shorts, charades, riddles, and other game there where you self go learn from. This content go come every Sunday, 9 o'clock na net. Now all the Liberty Online TV social media platforms there.
She chose number 1. She's always number 1.
Period.
On top.
Period. On top.
Yeah, man.
So not miss out. Join me for laugh with your favorite celebrity and social media influencers there.
One-on-one, only on Liberty Online TV. Term them like this, where politics they shape the future, career they define we path them, and the economy they touch everybody in life. One program where they ask the hard question them and also bring the answer them close to you, face to face with the movers and shakers, the voice them will matter, the issue them will count. One time per week, one big name, one big issue. One on Liberty Online TV every Friday 8 to 9 p.m. with Khadija Bangura. One-on-one only on Liberty Online TV.
Thank you very much. And why I make Mr. Kamara can't talk? Because